You know something funny? When we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking right? But he like, you ain't gonna win. I said, why not? What you talking about? He like, they ain't gonna give it to you.
The controversy surrounding Gervonta Davis' majority draw against Lamont Roach Jr. is escalating by the day, quickly becoming one of boxing's biggest scandals this year. What should have been a clear-cut fight result has spiraled into a heated debate over corruption, favoritism, and whether Gervonta Davis shielded by outside influences beyond the ring.
Whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, "Oh, that he should be disqualified. He went back to the corner." I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation.
Fans are still in shock over the controversial moment in the 9th round. Referee Steve Willis refused to call it a knockdown, hesitating mid-count before abruptly stopping himself, leaving everyone baffled. That single moment altered the entire fight's momentum, sparking whispers that Willis may have been pressured, or even bribed, to protect Gervonta Davis, losing his belt.
Man, if you take a knee in the 90s or in 2000, you're taking a...
The fight itself was already full of surprises. Roach, a massive underdog, stepped into the ring with nothing to lose and everything to prove. Facing the power and aggression of Gervonta Davis, few expected him to last all 12 rounds, let alone push the champion to his limits. But that's exactly what he did. From the opening bell, Roach made it clear he wasn't just another name on Gervonta Davis' reel. He was sharp, disciplined, and fearless. Gervonta Davis shots while countering with precision. As the rounds progressed, it became evident that this wasn't going to be an easy night for Gervonta Davis. For the first time in a long while, his usual rhythm was off, and Roach refused to give him the openings he needed.
I mean, the only reason they gave you the fight was because you would make more money as a champion, but there's no way it's a draw, and they didn't call it a knockdown. If they called a knockdown, you lost.
Roach landed a clean shot at Gervonta Davis, forcing him to drop to a knee. The crowd erupted, expecting the referee to start the count. But then came the controversy. Steve Willis, a referee known for his animated reactions in the ring, did something completely out of character. He hesitated. For a brief moment, he looked like he was about to begin the count, but then he stopped. Instead of ruling it a knockdown, he waved it off as if nothing had happened. The commentators were stunned. Fans in the arena voiced their outrage, and social media exploded with demands for answers. How could this not be a knockdown? The replay left no Gervonta Davis a knee after getting caught clean. Yet somehow, Willis acted like it never happened. When the scorecards were revealed, that moment proved to be crucial. Instead of what many believe should have been a loss, Gervonta Davis escaped with a majority draw, leaving fans and analysts questioning whether the fight had been influenced by forces beyond the ring.
Being in big names, so they overblow it?
I think so, yeah, and I feel like people just don't like to take to a point where any little thing, just because he ain't knock him out, he probably feel as though that he lost and he didn't, or it was a draw, you know.
New details are emerging, and the controversy is only growing. Allegations have surfaced that Steve Willis was offered a $2 million bribe to protect Gervonta Davis. What initially seemed like nothing more than conspiracy theories from frustrated fans is now being echoed by boxing insiders. Rumors suggest that individuals close Gervonta Davis' camp may have been in contact with Willis before the fight. This would explain Gervonta Davis told Lamont Roach that no matter what he did, he wouldn't be given the win. Some analysts believe Willis's hesitation in the 9th round wasn't just an innocent mistake. It looked like he was second-guessing himself, fully aware that making the wrong call could expose everything. If these allegations hold any weight, this could go down as one of the most blatant cases of corruption in boxing history, shaking the sport to its core.
Honestly, I thought I should have won without that being counted a knockdown. Look, I ain't the ref. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had to wipe sweat out his eye, he had to wipe sweat out his eye. But the rules do state, if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's an automatic 8 count. But it is what it is. I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on
Gervonta Davis deepened when the World Boxing Association, WBA, rushed to defend Steve Willis's decision. Instead of easing tensions, their response only fueled the fire. The WBA published an article on their official website, insisting that Willis's call was justified, stating, "From our perspective, Willis's decision was not unreasonable or unjustifiable." No knockdown should have been recorded. That statement sparked immediate outrage. Fans were furious, seeing it as a blatant attempt to cover up what many believe was a clear mistake, or worse, corruption. Boxing analysts slammed the WBA's stance as absurd, while former fighters openly criticized the organization for seemingly Gervonta Davis within hours. Social media erupted, tearing apart the WBA's explanation. Gervonta Davis was swift, and the pressure on the organization continued to mount as more voices called for accountability.
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we can get it before. It probably won't be this year.
Gervonta Davis, president of the WBA, I must apologize for the opinion of a collaborator of the website. We believed in you since day one. We knew you would have a marvelous performance and feel proud of you as a champion. That wording immediately raised eyebrows. If this was just the opinion of a random collaborator, why was it published on the WBA's official website? And why was the organization so quick to defend Steve Willis in the first place? Mendoza also reached out to Roach's father, who serves as both his manager and trainer, with a similar message, but by then, the damage had been done. To many, this looked like a failed cover-up. The WBA got caught trying to Gervonta Davis, and when the backlash became overwhelming, they scrambled to distance themselves. With allegations of bribery swirling, all eyes turned to Gervonta Davis himself. Fans and analysts alike wanted to hear his side of the story. Gervonta Davis finally responded. He didn't exactly deny anything, but he didn't admit to anything either. Instead, he fired back at critics, saying, "I don't know anything about that, but look, they've been hating on me since day one. Y'all are acting like I've never had to fight for my respect. They're just mad because I haven't lost my belt, but if that were true, why hasn't a rematch already been announced?" Many believe Davis's camp is stalling, because they know a second fight might not end in his favor.
How do you assess his power after being in there for 12?
He got decent power. He got decent power for sure. I ain't gonna say it's exaggerated. I told you I got a chin. I ain't going like that.
Meanwhile, the New York State Athletic is now being dragged into the controversy. The commission was supposed to use instant replay on the night of the fight, but for some reason, it never happened. Their official explanation has only fueled more suspicion. What kind of technical issue conveniently occurs at the exact moment when instant replay could have overturned a crucial decision in a major title fight? Fans aren't buying it, and some are calling for a full-scale investigation. Adding to the drama, there are now rumors that Lamont Roach Jr.'s team is considering legal action to challenge the fight's result. If that happens, this situation could escalate into one of the biggest scandals in recent boxing history. As the controversy swirls and pressure for a rematch intensifies, even WBA President Gilberto Mendoza has acknowledged the growing calls for a second fight. In a recent have asked the WBA committee to closely follow Lamont Roach Jr.'s direct rematch case.